Texas lawmakers have issued a strict warning to the state's colleges and universities. Not listening could be costly. This is Thursday, July 3rd, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Thank you for spending part of your Thursday with the Texas Minute. If you enjoyed the Texas Minute, we'd appreciate it if you'd give us a rating on your podcast app. Our goal is to help you and your fellow Texans be more informed and therefore effective as citizens. Let's get into the news impacting the Lone Star State. A little-known provision of the Senate's version of President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill would move the Space Shuttle Discovery to Houston. As you might recall, Houston was bypassed as a home for one of the retired space shuttles in a controversial decision made by the Obama administration back in 2011. Despite the Houston area being the home of NASA's Mission Control, the retired shuttles were sent to Florida, California, New York, and Virginia. Discovery completed 39 missions before its retirement and was assigned to the Smithsonian in the Washington, D.C. area. It remains the only orbiter still federally owned, making it eligible for relocation through congressional legislation. As such, Senators John Cornyn and Ted Cruz pushed the OBBB provision requiring NASA and the Smithsonian to draft a relocation plan within 90 days of its passage, with that relocation to be completed within 18 months. The logistical challenges will be significant, and the cost is expected to run between $300 and $400 million. Following a recent U.S. Supreme Court decision affirming parents' right to protect their children from content undermining their religious beliefs, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has announced that federal funds for its teen pregnancy prevention program cannot be used to promote radical gender ideology. HHS's Office of Population Affairs offers the program as a grant to fund nonprofits, hospitals, and local jurisdictions that are working to prevent teen pregnancy nationwide. Some recipients, like the city of Austin, have used those dollars to promote left-wing gender ideologies, which HHS says is no longer allowed. Brady Gray of the Texas Family Project said that the HHS policy clarification, quote, affirms Christian convictions about parental authority and God's design for humanity. Governor Greg Abbott is being urged to add congressional redistricting to the agenda of the special legislative session that's set to begin on July 21st. At issue is the slim two-seat majority that Republicans hold in the U.S. House. Some Republican activists believe new congressional lines in the Lone Star State could produce a handful of additional seats for the GOP. This effort apparently has the backing of some of the political operatives inside the White House. While redistricting is required every 10 years to reflect population changes recorded by the census, it can also be done at other times. A federal court ruling last year in a Galveston County redistricting case opened the door for Texas to revisit its election district maps, but state lawmakers chose not to take up the issue during their regular legislative session. Timing will be a key factor in redrawing Texas's congressional maps if it's going to happen and if they're to impact the 2026 election cycle. The candidate filing period for the primary begins on November 8th and ends December 8th. The Texas Minute will be right back.
The media has an agenda, and having seen behind the curtain, I can tell you it's not what's in your best interests. That's why I started the Salcedo Storm podcast every weekday. Real talk for real Texans. The Salcedo Storm podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Following a federal court ruling that struck down a Texas law allowing illegal aliens to pay discounted in-state tuition rates, a group of state lawmakers has issued a stark warning to public university leaders: comply or face legal consequences. In a letter sent to the chancellors of the state's public university systems, a coalition of lawmakers has demanded an immediate halt to any policies granting residency-based tuition rates or state financial aid to individuals who are not lawfully present in the United States. Leading this charge is Republican State Representative Mike Alcott of Aledo. Their letter follows a joint court filing last month in which the state of Texas conceded, following a lawsuit from the Trump administration, that the Texas DREAM Act that was passed back in 2001 violated federal statutes. While acknowledging that some tuition waivers may still comply with federal law if equally available to out-of-state citizens, lawmakers are warning university leaders not to exploit those exceptions as a backdoor for granting blanket in-state tuition to illegal aliens. Legislation that would have codified the repeal of in-state tuition benefits for illegal aliens stalled in the state Senate during the final days of the regular legislative session. You can find details on all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was based on the original reporting of Joseph Trimmer, Luca Cacciatore, Aaron Anderson, and Brandon Waltons. Our podcast is produced by Nick Shepard. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.